Hi everyone, this is lesson 2 of our book club unit. Today we're going to be talking about how you start your book club and what it's going to look like once you actually start reading your book in class. So while we read in class, we really want to focus on getting into a zone or a reading zone, getting into a flow with your book. So I know we all have a lot of distractions, right? We can get distracted by our phones, we could be distracted by our friends, or just feeling kind of tired. So we're going to talk about what it means to actually get zoned in and focus on reading your book in class. Zoned in reading means that you're giving all of your attention to reading the book. You are going to be reading without looking at your phone, without playing games on your Chromebook or on your phone. And when you really get into a reading zone, if you get focused with your book, you should start kind of creating a movie in your mind of what you're reading. So you might start picturing like what the characters look like and what the setting looks like, and you'll find yourself getting like kind of immersed in this story. So that's the goal. It might be hard at first. Maybe you're not used to reading continuously for 40 minutes straight, but it gets easier the more you read. So reading is a skill that we need to practice, and this unit is all about practicing the skill of reading through a book that you actually enjoy and that you get to pick for yourself. So if you're in a good reading zone, you might be reading about 1 to 2 pages a minute. We all read at different paces, which is okay, but this is kind of the average. You should be reading about a page or 2 every minute. So if you realize that you have been reading and you actually don't remember anything that just happened, this happens to me too. I'll be reading and I'll realize that I didn't actually get anything on that page. So there's some things you can do if you realize that you've kind of zoned out and you've lost your focus. First of all, just go back and reread the page. That is okay. If you lose your concentration and you need to go back, totally fine. You can also change something. Sometimes you just need to like get up and stretch, or if you're sitting at your desk and you'd prefer to sit on the floor, like just change something so that you can refocus. You can also try reading out loud or listening to the audio of the book. So I know some of you really like to listen to audiobooks. That can be a good way to help you focus. I also really like taking notes with Post-its, or maybe even just like leaving a Post-it note on a page that I want to come back to. So I have a bunch of little sticky notes up on my desk here, and if you want to come grab some while you're reading, that is totally fine. And then if you get stuck and you're just like reading a sentence over and over and you don't know what it means, you can like look up the words and try and figure it out, but also just know that it's okay if you don't understand every single thing, and sometimes it's best to just let really difficult sentences go and move on. So we are going to be having a lot of just reading days in class where you get time to really focus in and enjoy your book. And so this is the protocol for those days when we are going to have reading time in class. So we're going to keep it quiet in the room so that people can just focus on their books. So no side conversations, just keep it quiet. You'll be reading your book for about 40 minutes. So not the entire class period. I'll still do some announcements or we'll talk about something. But then for the majority of class time, you'll just be reading your book. So quietly move if you have to, if you need to go to the bathroom or get a pass, whatever. But keep your Chromebooks closed unless you're reading an ebook or listening to an audiobook through it. Keep your phones away. So put them in your backpack, put them in your pocket, give them to me. Keep them away so you're not distracted. It's fine if you want to listen to music while you read. I know that sometimes that is helpful. But if you're going to listen to music, just press play and put it away so that you don't have to worry about it. All right, so every day that we do quiet reading time in class, you will be earning points for staying in the zone. If you read zoned in for 40 minutes, you will get points for that day. Got to keep your phone away, so limit those distractions. Keep your phone out of sight. Keep your Chromebooks closed. Be quiet so that your classmates can really just focus on their books. And then at the end of the hour, I will give you a little stamp or a sticker in this calendar. You'll all have these calendars in your packet. And I will give you a little stamp or sticker that shows you earned points for the day. All right, so what are the next steps now that you have watched this video? The first step is to pick your book. So I know you've read a couple different books in lesson 1. You did some speed dating. But I want you to narrow your choice down to one. Choose a book that you are interested in and that you know you're going to like and enjoy for this unit. The second step is to think of who you would like to work with for your book club. So you get to choose your classmates that you want to work with. We need groups to be 3 or 4 people. And we also need to make sure everyone in the class is included. So I'm giving you the freedom to choose your groups, but if people are left out or excluded, then I'll have to assign groups. So just be conscientious of making sure everyone in the class is included. And then after you've picked your book, you're actually going to separate the book into sections that you're going to read for each deadline. So you'll see it right in your packet, but you're going to say, okay, for deadline number 1, I'm going to read the first section, which is page 1 to page maybe 85. And then you know that that is the section you have to read. Then I will give you a little bookmark that you can actually write your page numbers for each deadline, and that will help you keep track of the reading that you have for this unit. All right, so these are your next steps. Go ahead and get started on picking the book that you want to read.